That's that money talk. That's that money talk. Got a lot of fans, a lot of haters, we just let them talk. Cause them never phases to the paper. What you talking about? The earth will really shake it with this craters that we throwing out, yeah.
So no, you got Titty Freedom Homes. Block his number, you need me. I will epic kill him, I promise.
What is up, you guys? It's your boy T-Russ back with another video, and today we are talking about LSU versus Clemson. So if you're down with that, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications. You know, like hit that night getting strong. Let's get right into it. So LSU beat Clemson 42-25, and Joe Burrow had another 5-touchdown day. Okay, and he did great. First off, he had 59 touchdowns for the season. That is a single season FBS record, okay? And he also finished with 5,500 passing yards this season. So Joe Burrow had a great season. And you know, it just seems like after every game this year, we were talking about Joe Burrow breaking another record, right? And he just capped off this spectacular season with a spectacular final game of his college career. Alright, and he threw for 463 yards and 5 touchdowns, and he even had a rushing touchdown on 58 yards rushing. Alright, and so, like I said, he had a great game. He showed up to play. He had 2 touchdowns to Thaddeus Moss, 2 to Jamar Chase, who was killing AJ Terrell all game. Jamar Chase was killing AJ Terrell. Last game, it was Justin Jefferson, he did alright today. Yesterday, he didn't do all that great. But yesterday it was Jamar Chase who came to play. You know, they were attacking AJ Terrell, and he was killing them. And Jamar Chase had 221 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, and the last touchdown went to Terrence Marshall, I think. Yeah, Terrence Marshall. Okay, and so they did great. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, my bad, had 110 rushing yards and like 50-something passing yards. He didn't score, but he put his mark on this game as well. So that offense did great. They started off slow. It was a 7-7 game. Then they went down 17-7. Started off slow. Joe Burrow started off slow. The Clemson defense was sending blitzes and confusing Joe Burrow, and it was getting to him. At first, and he was able to adapt to what they were doing. He was able to adjust, and after he made his adjustments, it was over. They couldn't phase him anymore. They couldn't. And this was a closer game than it looked like. I mean, Clemson kind of let this game slip away in the second half. They had chances to take the lead back, and they just couldn't. It was definitely in LSU's favor that they got ball at half, but even when they got ball at half, they didn't score. Clemson actually made this a 25-28 game before it got out of hand. So, but on the other side, Trevor Lawerence, he had a rough game. All right, he had a very rough game. He was just missing throws. And you could tell that something wasn't right. He was shook. Something was in his head. Something was getting to him. This is his first college career loss. By no other than Joe Burrow. All right, and yeah, he had a rough game. He threw no touchdowns. I think he ran for one though. And like I said, he was missing throws all game. And then Travis Etienne had a pretty good game. 78 rushing yards. I think like 50-something passing yards and a touchdown. T. Higgins had a rushing touchdown. He also had a few yards receiving. So he had a pretty good game. I believe he got hurt in this game. Came back later. So, but there's a bunch of NFL prospects in this game. All right. First off, on both defensive sides, Isaiah Simmons. Oh yeah, And then the targeting by what's his name? Oh, I forgot his name. Sklowski? I forgot his name. But yeah, the targeting by Sklowski, you know, some Clemson fans are going to say, you know, that wasn't targeting, but it was kind of the same hit that Shaun Wade put on Trevor Lawerence. So if you didn't believe it was targeting, it's kind of karma, you know, because we put the same hit on your quarterback last week, and it was called. And you know, I feel like, you know, they're consistent with call, obviously, and you know, now Clemson knows what it feels like to have a key defensive player leave this game, because it was clear after he left the game, you know, some things had changed on that defensive side. They just weren't getting as much pressure, and you know, they weren't doing as good, and so things had changed after that targeting hit, after he was out the game. So you know, they felt his absence. They felt his absence. But like I said, Isaiah Simmons is a beast. All right, he played everywhere yesterday, and honestly, he's gonna be great in the NFL. He's so big. Like, he is huge, bro. He is huge on that field. And like I say, he plays everywhere. They have him at corner, as sometimes outside linebacker, inside linebacker. It didn't matter. Like, he is huge. He plays wherever he wants to. One of the best defensive players in this draft. All right, he is amazing. And then you know, Burrow Jr., the freshman cornerback for LSU. First of all, he had a great season this year. 6 interceptions, great. But this game, he had a very good game. You know, no interceptions, some pass breakups, but you know, it was just when they went to his side, not many catches, and it seemed like that, you know, the whole season for him. So you know, they got a rising star in him. He was really good. And then who was it? Was it Jamar Chase who had the juke move on number 19? That was crazy. I got out of my chair, and like, you know, I'm remembering it like right now because it was that great. Like, he put him on his butt, okay? He put him on his butt. He did a little back juke. He put a little back juke on Madden, and dude fell back, bro. He fell back on his butt, and you know, that was crazy. Okay, that was crazy. And then who else? Grant Del Pitt had a pretty good game. He forced a fumble. You know, at the beginning of the game, he wasn't having that good of a game. You know, it took him a while to kind of make his presence felt. He had a sack and a forced fumble, and that really made his game pretty good. Patrick Queen had a really good game. Their LSU's linebacker had a couple tackles for loss, a half sack, and I believe he forced a fumble as well. So, you know, but it was a great game, and you know, arguably LSU's had one of the best seasons ever. Joe Burrow arguably had one of the best seasons by a quarterback ever. You know, you can say Tim Tebow, but I think Tim Tebow had like one of the greatest college careers, not college seasons. I know in 2007 he had a really good season, like 3,000 passing yards, 30 passing touchdowns, and with like almost 1,000 rushing yards and like 20 something rushing touchdowns. So, you know, that's a great season right there. But I don't think he won the natty, though. I don't think he won the natty. Matter of fact, I think LSU won that year too. So, you know, because Joe Burrow capped it off with the natty, this could be arguably the best season by a quarterback. You know, perfect season, undefeated, Heisman, and the natty. You know, that puts you in history right there. I think it can be argued that this is one of the best seasons by a quarterback, and one of the best seasons by a team, honestly. They beat 6 top 25 teams this year, including a hard SEC, number 1 team in Alabama. So yeah, they just had a really good season this year. A team in Georgia who was top 4. So yeah, they had a really good season this year. They did really good, and you know, Joe Burrow, he's the number 1 pick in the draft, going to the Bengals, no doubt about it. the Bengals, I think yesterday they saw everything they needed to see. They saw everything they needed to see. He did everything. And he's, usually he has a bunch of time in that pocket, but yesterday that wasn't really the case, and he was still throwing dots. So they really saw everything they needed to see from that man, and he's going to the Bengals. He's going to the Cincinnati Bengals next year. And you can book it. Isaiah Simmons, top 10 pick. Grant Delpit, I believe he's top 20. T. Higgins is top 15. So, you just a lot of guys in there. A lot of guys in there who are going to be really good in the NFL. And a lot of guys that I would love to have on my team. But that's it for this video. If you liked it, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, because you not like keep that night game strong. Comment, share, subscribe, share, that right, I'll see you for now, so peace.
This is for them shawties with them dollars. This is for them shawties that don't need a baller. And we gon' make it to the top, that's on my mama. Money machine counting all this guala. This